Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, I am talking about the screening device that is unfortunately destroying relationships. Is your screening device, whatever it is that you spend a lot of time watching, engaged in, is that device keeping you from having a quality connection with your offline family and friends? Is that screening device the very thing that's going to end up causing you much money later on in divorce court? Is that screening device going to keep you from experiencing a quality life with those you claim you love so much? Is that screening device going to cause you to have an offline experience that puts you in a hospital or worse, in a grave? We take these sorts of things way too lightly. We assume that, it's just an electronic. It's there to entertain me. But the truth of the matter is that that device is costing people so much. If it wasn't for that cell phone, that tablet, that computer, that MP4 player, or what have you, just maybe I wouldn't have missed what he told me or what she confessed, or maybe our relationship would have been better, or maybe we would have never even met. Come on. If I had been more engaged in the environment around me, had I been proactive, had I been listening to the Holy Spirit within me, had I been instructed by the wise counselors and followed what they were telling me, things would have been different. Somebody has a regret. They got themselves mixed up in all sorts of online activity that they forgot about those who love them so much offline. They didn't want to deal with the fact that they had an addiction. Come on, I talked about this in other audio. They didn't want to deal with the fact that they had an addiction. It was people at work that told them. It was relatives that told them. It was friends who said, you better watch, you're spending too much time. Some of you all, you know that your sons and your daughters and your sisters and your brothers are spending way too much time doing what they like to do on the internet because they're always in your business. Come on. You seem to always be there to comment on whatever I post. Don't you have a wife? I mean, when's the last time you posted up a picture of the two of you all together? Do you have any recent pictures of anything that you do offline? Come on, some of you all need to pay closer attention because, see, this device has consumed them so much to the point where there's all sorts of things happening that they don't even know about. Kids are failing. Kids aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. People are filing for paperwork, separation, divorce. There's all sorts of things happening, items being stolen around them, fighting. Even employers are reconsidering keeping them around because there are those employees that will report you when you are in that device more so than taking care of the business that is right in front of you. Am I speaking somebody's truth? Come on. Some of you all, you're not caught up in your device because you learned a long time ago it's not worth it. I can't tell you when the last time I was on a social networking site doing A, B, and C, right? Some of you all got those stories because you know that device got you into some trouble, didn't it? And the Lord himself will speak to those of us who hear his voice and tell us, You're spending too much time. Put it away. They're watching you. Come on. I was just checking my text message. It don't matter. Don't spend too much time because she looking for an excuse, just any excuse to have one thing to say about you and your device. But I don't even be on it that long. But some folks have been so scorned by those devices to the point where they don't like them around them. And they will even tell you, I don't like folks talking to me while they're looking at their devices, or when I'm talking to them, I don't like them studying their devices. Come on. I am that person that I need your undivided attention. But I can hear you. No, but I need to see your eyes. Because the eyes are the windows to the soul. And if there's something troubling a person, sometimes they're so good at hiding it by looking at the device that you don't know what they're really going through. But God, come on, God, especially with our youth, I want to see your eyes. I don't want to see your profile. I don't want to see the side of your head. I don't want to see the top of your head. I want to see your face. I want to see your eyes. Some of you you need to demand that from your children. You need to demand it from your partners. You need to demand it from your employees. You need to demand this because there's something that's about to happen. And when you got your head down and he or she got her head down, who's paying attention to what's happening around them? There was a person who I was speaking to who enjoyed hiking. And this individual told me that you don't want to be that one that's looking down at your device. You don't want to be that one that has the AirPods in your ears. You don't want to be that one because you never know who's coming up behind you. You never know what wildlife is going to show up out of nowhere. You need to be conscious of your surroundings. But, always an excuse. Some folks, they can't even drive. Lord Jesus, be with all of us. They can't even drive without looking down at their device. Sooner or later, they're going to rear end someone. Am I speaking, once again, somebody's truth? Take the moment to go to the Lord with the person's name who's the violator. It just might even be you. And ask the Lord to give you the discipline to take care of your offline affairs before you sit in front of a device. Ask the Lord to be with you when you are that one that's tempted to want to spend way too long on a device. You better pay attention to your lunch hours because somebody's paying attention. You better pay attention to the start time at the workplace and the end time because somebody's paying attention. You see. And folks like to make up excuses, right? Children are good for this. Well, I was busy. You were busy doing what? Well, I had A, B, and C. You didn't have all that to do. You were sitting in front of your device. You were sitting in front of that computer. You were in front of the games. Quit coming up with excuses. You're late for work because you know you were scrolling through the phone. Swipe, swipe. Like. Comment. Once again, I got to encourage some of you relatives, when you see that your relative, who you know has a family, is often on the internet, got more time to comment, like, follow you, subscribe, whatever. And meanwhile, you're hearing through the grapevine that their relationship is going downhill. You need to have that conversation. Why don't you spend more time in front of your husband or your wife rather than being on the screen? There's some things that are occurring in the spiritual realm concerning these relationships. There's the friend who gets all this attention, but yet the sons and daughters hardly get any. The parent doesn't even remember the last time they sat down and had a powwow. Some folks got 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 break times to spend on their phones. Look at the clock sometime. Isn't he supposed to be at work? Oh, he is at work. Well, why is he spending so much time talking to you? He gets off of work at such and such time. But yet, he got all this time to sit on social media. Something on the home front isn't getting done. Come on, somebody needs to say that. Something on the home front isn't getting done because eyes are on that screen. There's been more lies, more excuses, more cover-ups concerning the addiction than we can count with some of our relatives and our friends. You were supposed to pick me up at such and such time. What took you so long? You're waiting and you're waiting. It's 20 minutes. It's 30 minutes. It's 50 minutes. What was holding him up? What was holding her up? On the phone. In front of the computer. Oh, I lost track of time. I'm sorry. Sorry's not going to help when you done missed this event. Sorry's not going to help when we got a contract to sign. Sorry's not going to help when people say, you know what, these goofballs, they can't seem to get it right. Always late. Their games are more important than sitting in front of us. So we're going to take this deal and we're going to allow some other folks to take a look at it because these people are immature. They're silly. There's a life. There's a life beyond that device. Once again, some folks, legal separations, divorces are headed your way. You love looking at them pictures, don't you? Like, subscribe, comment. You love talking to those people that you'll never meet in person. But yet there's a child in the other room that needs to be tended to. There's a man. There's a woman. There's somebody that loves you. And you going to calculate at some point all that time that you spent. And I'm sure some folks around you's already calculated that time. That's why they don't want to deal with you. They'll deal with the one that's giving them face-to-face contact. They're going to spend time with the one who is stroking their ego, so to speak, because you too busy in your phone, on your computer, playing your games. Some of us, we take this sort of thing very seriously. And some of us, we are the ones who incorporate the consequences. We are the ones who have the conversations with some of these people about their devices. We're the ones who caution ever so nicely before we end up doing whatever it is that the Lord tells us to do concerning these folks. So if you are that one that's guilty, or the one who feels some kind of way about that one who's always in front of that device, I urge you to speak up. I urge you to be the one to let them know what the consequences are as a result of being way too involved in their electronic devices. The Lord moved on my spirit to validate those of you all who are so fed up, who are so angry, who are yelling and screaming, who are just so done with these devices. He sees, and he is going to handle these things. But you've got to be proactive. You've got to be willing to say, okay, all right, hands off. I'm not going to feed into this person with the addiction. I'm not going to be the codependent buying yet another device, spending more money for them to entertain themselves on their device. I'm not going to be the one that keeps looking away. I'm going to be the one that confronts. Once again, I validate you, and I thank the one true God on what he's about to do to motivate those of you all to do what's right. Pay attention to how much time you're spending on your devices. Pay attention to your surroundings. Many a person got injured, had accidents, and even died because they were so involved in their electronics. May the Lord be with you. Please do check the description box for anything that might be of interest. You've been listening to YouTube in Enterprise 7. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment. Blessings to you.